As if Giorgio Moroder just invented this. Play this for Ames and China and the Kiddly Pops. Listen along. And if you've dug this, you want more of this on a Friday. 7 o'clock, Michelle Visage. 9 o'clock, The Good Groove with DJ Spoonie. But before all of that, All Request Friday with Sarah Cox. If you want anything on the radio, 88 291. Have a great rest of your Friday. I will see you Monday morning from midnight. I'll see you there. This is it. This is Radio 2 on BBC Sounds, on your smart speaker and on 88 to 91 FM. Have a winner Friday.
BBC News at 5 o'clock, this is Mike Powell. For the first time, a murder sentence has been broadcast live on television in England and Wales. The government has said it will give an update next week on fresh elections in Northern Ireland. And Donald Trump says Twitter is now in sane hands after its takeover by Elon Musk. A woman who murdered her friend has been told she must spend at least 34 years in prison in the first live broadcast of a murder sentence in England and Wales. Gemma Mitchell, who's 38, killed 67-year-old Mi Cohen Chong, who was known as Deborah, at the older woman's home in London before dumping her body in Devon. The judge, Richard Marks KC, described Mitchell as extremely devious and said there was no doubt the murder was carried out for gain.
There is the chilling aspect of what you did to and with her body after you had killed her. You have shown absolutely no remorse, and it appears that you are in complete denial as to what you did, notwithstanding what, in my judgment, amounted to overwhelming evidence against you.
Our reporter Laura Foster was at the Old Bailey.
Mitchell has become the first murderer and the first woman to be sentenced on television in England and Wales, following a change in the rules allowing cameras into court over the summer. Today at the Old Bailey, nearly all of the police officers who worked on this case were present, and the victim's family were watching via video link from around the world.
The government has said it will call a snap election to Northern Ireland's Assembly after politicians at Stormont failed to restore power sharing, but the date has not yet been set. The Northern Ireland Secretary, Chris Heaton-Harris, said he would provide more details next week. He's under a legal duty to call an election within 12 weeks. Mr Heaton-Harris said he was deeply disappointed at what he called a really serious situation.
I've had lots and lots of talks with all the parties and will continue to do so. I hear it when parties say that they really do not want an election at all. But nearly all of them are parties who signed up to the rules, the law that means I need to call an election.
Donald Trump has welcomed Elon Musk's £38 billion takeover of Twitter, saying it's now in sane hands. The former US president was banned from the social media platform after being accused of inciting violence in January last year. Mr Musk is expected to assume the role of chief executive of the company and is understood to have already fired senior Twitter officials. Our business correspondent Theo Leggett says he clearly wants to have freedom to take Twitter in a new direction.
On the one side, there's the hard businessman, so he will presumably want to do something about Twitter's financial model, which currently relies on advertising. So he clearly wants advertising on the app to become something that people who are using it will welcome a little bit more rather than just scrolling past. I mean, there's all sorts of scope for subscription services, for expanding the app, for doing more for businesses, and we simply don't know what he's going to do. But we do know that there's going to be big change. Otherwise, why would he bother getting rid of the entire layer of senior management?
Rishi Sunak has ditched a pledge to fine people who miss GP or hospital appointments in England. He proposed the idea during the summer while running against Liz Truss for the Conservative leadership. A Downing Street spokesman said now was not the right time to take the idea forward. The husband of the US Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, has been attacked at the couple's home in San Francisco. A spokesman said Paul Pelosi, who's 82, had been violently assaulted but was expected to make a full recovery after hospital treatment. A suspect has been arrested. A British man whose inflatable kayak capsized while he was trying to cross the channel has been rescued after spending up to 2 days clinging to a marker buoy. His saviour, the captain of a Dutch fishing boat, said he was clearly in distress and waving like a madman. From Paris, Hugh Schofield reports.
The man, who's aged about 30, set out from the English coast early Tuesday, paddling a kayak and wearing just a swimming costume. But about halfway across the channel, he ran into difficulty. His Dutch rescuers found him clinging to a buoy and, after 2 days in the water, just about at the end of his strength. He was pulled onto the fishing boat, and the French Coast Guard then dispatched a helicopter which winched him aboard and took him to hospital in Boulogne-sur-Mer. He was suffering from hypothermia, dehydration and exhaustion.
England's cricketers face a tough task to reach the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup after their